I need people to understand is if you are dealing with a friend or family member who's in a toxic relationship and they are in no rush or sense of urgency to leave that relationship, and they can list you every reason in the book why they can't leave. And what I need you to understand is, much like a drug addiction, this person is addicted to the highs and the lows of being in that relationship, okay? And also, much like a drug addiction, you have to be mindful of the things that you might be doing to enable them. And so many people argue against my content, and they'll say things like, you have to be understanding, you have to give grace, and you have to be there for your friend, and you have to let them vent for as long as they want to, and you have to. But a lot of that shit, and this is coming from someone who has been there, a lot of the times y'all be enabling your friends to continue to make these poor decisions because they know that you're always going to be there to pat them on the back and tell them that everything is okay. But I'm going to tell you this. The women in my past who helped me wake up the most were not the ones who patted me on the back and let me vent as much as I wanted to and told me that everything's okay and told me that they understood. They were the women who either, one, they set a boundary with me. They were like, I'm not your dumping bag for all the shit that your boyfriend or husband is putting you through. I don't want to hear this anymore. It's been going on for X amount of time. Let's talk about something else. Or it was the ones who maybe they did let me vent, but they didn't hold back. And they were like, girl, you're making some horrible decisions. Like, this is not doing you any good. I don't understand it. They were the ones who held me accountable. You can have grace and you can understand. But much like a drug addiction, like I said, you also have to be mindful of things that you might be doing that are prolonging their addiction, that are enabling what they are doing. Do you know what I'm saying? The best, I have friends who have family members who have dealt with drug addiction. And the most painful thing that they had to do was put their foot down and no longer allow that family member to come around, no longer bail that family member out when they got themselves in some kind of trouble. No longer just be available to that person while they were doing what they were doing. Now, when that person finally made the decision to heal, of course they did all they could do to get them into rehab and to hold them accountable and to be there for them. That's a totally different situation. But while they were in the midst of getting the drugs, taking the drugs, dealing with dealers, putting themselves in dangerous situations, they had to take their hands off that situation and back off, because sometimes people have to hit rock bottom before they wake up. And unfortunately, much like a drug addiction, there will be some women who unfortunately never learn, and it leads them to their grave because their abuser has ended their life. But what I need you to realize is, well, I don't just want to let my friend do, I just want someone, I get it. And that's because you have a heart and you're an amazing person. But when someone is caught up in situations like that, much like a drug addiction, there is nothing you can say to them, do for them. There's no hug you can give them. You can write a speech fit for a Hallmark movie, and that person is not going to leave. They're not going to change their mind. They're not going to wake up, and all you're going to do is further frustrate yourself and drive yourself crazy trying to make your friend see their worth. Sometimes you have to let them know that you'll be there for them once things change, but you cannot be a passenger witnessing the shit that they are going through, because it's also traumatizing you. It's traumatizing to witness your friends or family members getting hurt. That's traumatizing. So sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is just take your hands off the situation and realize that there is nothing you can do, but just let them know, hey, if anything changes and you decide to leave, I'll be here with resources and, anything that I can do within reason. You don't want to put yourself in danger, with anything that I can do to help you. Because what a lot of you are thinking is grace and understanding is enabling. And it's just making the situation worse.